And mostly sunny on Sunday. We'll see highs in the mid-60s and lows around 42. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
That's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Welcome to Live Mike with Mike Romai. This is the show that talks about what's happening in Beaver County. Noah Haswell will have news at the top and bottom of each hour. Now, here is the host of the show, Mike Romai.
Well, I am not Mike Romai. I'm Frank Sparks in for Mike Romai, and I get to go back to my normal job on Monday, which is 6 to 10 with Scott Tatey. I like this getting to sleep in a little bit, but joining me now in hour number 2. Originally, we had told you Larry Kelly was going to be here, but he can't be here, so I jumped on the phone and got a hold of my friend Steve Higgins, and we're going to have the Larry Bruno Foundation on today talking about some good things, and we got a special guest as well. And then coming up at 11, we'll have Matt Muldaney, and we'll be talking real estate at 11. But for now, we're going to talk sports.
Frank, it's pretty hard to fill in for Larry because Larry is, he's up there, boy. That's a solid guy right there, but I'll do the best I can.
And that's another of, when you get to Lawrence County sports, that's another of WPIL sports and, great coach, great player in his day.
Solid individual.
Yeah, just a great guy all around. So it's kind of cool that we have are able to have that. So what are you up to today? Where do you want to start at?
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of exciting things going on. Big on my mind is the banquet Saturday night, the Beaver County Hall of Fame, and what an organization they are, Frank. When we were starting out the Larry Bruno Foundation, we had so many questions. We didn't know what directions we wanted to go in the very beginning, and Janet Zigarelli and her group have supported us from the very beginning. The Beaver County Hall of Fame has been around since 1976, okay? And 50 years they've been inducting people, and they don't have a brick or mortar facility, and that's why it was important for us at Larry Bruno to have a brick and mortar facility, because we felt that Beaver County deserved something like that. And Janet and her crew were just so supportive of us at the beginning. So I'm really excited to maybe talk about their banquet Saturday night that Lance was a part of. Joy Jeter, his mother, was previously inducted.
That's cool.
And they set a precedent. They were the first mother-son inductees because Lance got inducted Saturday. So what a moment for Beaver County sports, for Beaver Falls sports. Beaver Falls has the most inductees in the Beaver County Hall of Fame. Now, the last time I counted was a couple years ago, and we had over 80.
That's awesome.
From Beaver Falls. So we lead the county in inductees. We're very proud of that.
Do they still hang the plaques? And remember they used to hang them in the dome in CCBC as you walked around?
No, they don't. Because what happened, Frank, they ran out of space.
I can believe that.
Of that huge dome.
Yeah.
They've been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
And what they did was, I don't want to give too much bad information. I'm not 100% positive, but they did take the plaques down, and what they did was they distributed them to the schools that they belong to. In other words, all the Beaver Falls inductees, all the plaques went to Beaver Falls, New Brighton, all went to New Brighton.
That's cool.
I think some of the schools might display some of the plaques, but space is at a premium in a lot of schools, and it's a shame because a lot of these plaques are probably sitting in boxes like in a storeroom.
Yeah, that stinks.
But Beaver Falls is the exception because we have the museum over there, so the school was kind enough to donate the plaques to the foundation. And we're going to display the plaques, the Beaver Falls one, so we're real happy for that.
Okay.
But we're just so proud. I mean, Saturday night had to be a great night for Lance. That's why we can't wait to get him on and talk about it and get his thoughts. But, I'm going over this induction group for the Beaver County Hall of Fame. And what a group. It looks like some football guys. When you look at Jonathan Baldwin was inducted, Mike Zemanek, his coach, Derek Moy, Lance, Adam Libertor, Larry Malash, Jeff Nixon, Brian Omagrasso, Joe Palumbo, and Josh Sharpless. Frank, when I look at this list, something stands out to me. I look at 2 receivers from Beaver County got inducted, Baldwin and Moy.
Yeah.
And when you look at the NFL and you look at the Beaver County players that have matriculated into the NFL, the position that has the least amount of players is wide receiver.
I believe that.
And you would think that with all the great quarterbacks from Western PA, that Beaver County would just be flooded with
Wide
NFL receivers.
Yeah.
But our NFL players are linemen,
Defensive
backs, linebackers, guys like that. But when you look at this group, I see Jonathan Baldwin and Derek Moy. Okay. Now, Derek Moy, in my opinion, I played receiver when I played. I watch these receivers every year. I like to know who's the best, who isn't. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make a statement right now that I've been watching high school football since the mid-'60s. Okay. I cannot remember seeing a better high school receiver than Derek Moy.
I agree with you.
Derek Moy was unbelievable. First of all, his dad's Jerry Moy.
Right.
Jerry Moy was a Beaver Falls standout. He played with Collins. I seen Jerry Moy do things that were physically impossible.
Yes.
Carrying players 30 yards down the field and running over. I mean, he was unbelievable. But I think Derek Moy was maybe the best high school. Now, we had Robert Foster at CV. I think Robert Foster has the most receiving yards of any receiver in Beaver County history. It's a little over 2,000.
Yeah.
We did not have a receiver have a 1,000-yard receiving season until the kid from Blackhawk. Damn, I can't. Caratelli. He had his last name.
Luke. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't.
You're right. That's what it is.
Something like that. He had 1,200 yards receiving. And that was the first time that we ever had a Beaver County receiver record over 1,000 yards in one season. But Robert Foster averaged like 500 a season. He started for 4 years.
Right.
So he had over 2,000. But I think Derek Moy, just high school, was the best I've ever seen.
No, if you go look in my office, after Bob Berrickman passed, he had a signed picture of Derek Moy in the Steelers uniform. I leave him there because he's the real number 14 in my eyes in Pittsburgh. Not the troublemaker that's in Dallas now.
Right.
But that was one thing when his family came and cleaned off took his desk and took his things. They left that behind.
Wow.
So when we moved up here, I hung it on my wall in my office, and it's still there.
Yeah,
and it's going to stay there because I agree with you 100%. I think he was one of the best receivers to come out of Beaver County.
He really was.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like to brag about is his dad was from Beaver Falls. Okay.
I knew Jerry Gray. I worked with him way back in the day.
Such a sweetheart.
Yeah, he was an awesome guy.
Such a sweetheart. Yep. And then you go down the list here, and I'm noticing Brian Omograsso got inducted. Now, Brian is the son of Terry Omo, and Terry Omo went to Beaver Falls, played football in the early 70s. Okay. So that's kind of a nice thing that Brian got in. And, of course, Lance, probably the best. If there was a starting 5 all time for Beaver Falls, which, oh my God, we had so many great players, I think Lance would be on that starting 5. He's that good. He's probably our best athlete this century since the year 2000. So I'm so excited Lance finally got in. And plus him and his mom,
That's
anytime
cool.
we ask them anything from the Larry Bruno Foundation, they're there. They bend over backwards to help us. They make themselves available for interviews. I mean, anything that we ask the Jeter family, one of the top sports families in Beaver County history, the Jeter family, anytime we ask them for something, they're there to help out. So I love the Jeters.
Absolutely. And then, obviously, as we know, Lance was part, he was the Mr. Clutch, I guess we'll call him, of the 2005 WPIL championship in basketball. That
Frank,
that sent it to overtime and then in triple overtime to win it, which we actually, do you want to play it now? We actually have the clip.
You want to wait till Lance comes on, or you want to play it now?
We could play it now, and then we'll bring him in as we do.
Play it. Go ahead, play
and what's cool is when you called me yesterday, I said, I know I got that game. I know I do. So this morning, Gary and I scuffled back into the archives, and we actually found it. And when we bring
Let's
Lance in,
play it.
if he wants a copy, we'll give him a copy too.
Oh, I bet
I
he'd
have
love
the
that.
entire game, so we can, and Steve can verify because it's sitting right in front of me on cassette. On cassette.
My
Remember
mouth's
cassettes?
watering.
Steve's trying to get it off. He's like, I want that. So,
But hey, this might fire Lance up. We'll play the recording,
All
and
right.
we'll bring Lance
all right,
on.
it's a couple minutes long because we got to get the end.
Yeah, oh yeah.
1230 WBVP.
This was coming
and
back from commercial break right here.
WNBA.
Right at the end.
Jim Frederick along with Bob Barrickman and Tom Hayes, and we have had a dandy here tonight at the Palumbo Center. 74 apiece in triple overtime. Aliquippa ball with 49 seconds to play in the front court.
It's so hot in here at the Palumbo Center sweating, guys. We had a couple drops coming down from the ceiling.
Brandon Lindsay will trigger at half court. Javante Gilliam, Dante Rollins, DJ Jeter, John Baldwin in there for Aliquippa. Beaver Falls counters with Lance Jeter, Jack Anderson, Carlos Jeter, Alvin Rogers back in there now, and Rashawn Tarver. Dante out front, goes to Brandon Lindsay on the right wing drive, dips it down inside, Javante layup, 76-74 Aliquippa. Javante Gilliam and Beaver Falls comes the other way with Lance. Baseline drive and the reverse layup is good. Lance Jeter with a reverse layup ties the game at 76.
Well, Jeter was going to be determined to take that shot.
Lance Jeter ties up the game at 76.
18 seconds left in the moving clock.
Here's Dante Rollins. Half court, lost the ball, got it back. 10 seconds to go. Drive, left side. Layup. It's scored by Aliquippa. Brandon Lindsay scores. Lance Jeter at the buzzer. Makes it in. Lance Jeter makes it a shot. Lance Jeter has won it for Beaver Falls. Lance Jeter with a running one-hander from 28 feet wins the game.
At least 28. It might have been 38, Jim. Jeter hits the tray at the buzzer. He has 36. And Beaver Falls is your WPIAL Class AA champions. Oh, unbelievable basketball game.
Lance Jeter came down the court very calmly and launched it from at least 28 feet. Might have been a little bit further, and he rammed it off the glass. It rolled around the rim and fell right through.
You know what? That's the third time now that Lance Jeter has hit a buzzer beater. One last year from 60, which Aliquippa won in single overtime. One tonight to send it to overtime, and now the third one, which ends it in triple overtime. You know what? I hope the Pittsburgh media says that this game is arguably the greatest game, at least ever here at the Palumbo Center. This got to be the greatest game in WPIAL championship history, Jim.
And was Bob Barrickman not on to something there? Because it still is the greatest game in WPIL championship history.
It never gets old. It
All right.
never gets old.
We want to take a commercial break, and we come back, we'll bring Lance in.
We'll bring Lance on.
All right, sounds good. We'll be back with more here on Live Mike on your Friday morning. One of the greatest honors a person can receive is to be gathered with their people at the time of their passing. Even biblical authors, when they wanted to explain what it meant to have lived a great, prosperous, and meaningful life, spoke of the individual as having lived a long time and being gathered with friends and relatives near as they closed out their twilight years. Being gathered together with loved ones is something that the J&J Spratt Funeral Home takes very seriously as well. The comfort both given and received cannot be underestimated. J&J Spratt Funeral Home also knows that the honor shown to a loved one at their time of need in this manner is still the right thing to do today. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has been gathering together with area families for 4 generations and looks forward to honoring future residents deserving of being gathered together with friends and family. Click jjspratfh.com.
Scrap, scrap, scrap. They call him the scrapper. Scrap, scrap, scrap.
Hey, this is Donnie Iris, the original rapper. But you gotta check out the original Scrapper at Scrappy Joe's.
Thanks, Donnie. This is Joe the Chili, a.k.a. Scrappy Joe. And I want to invite you to take a scenic ride to historic Oil City, Pennsylvania to visit Scrappy Joe's and the Consignment Family Network. We are one of the largest co-ops in northwestern Pennsylvania. We have over 70 consignment vendor booths on display with over 1 million products to choose from, like antiques, books, collectibles, arts and crafts, and much more. Stop by and say hello to my partner Sue Downing and I. That's Scrappy Joe's at 4149 Route 257, Oil City, Pennsylvania. Everybody goes to Scrappy Joe's. See us on Facebook and Google.
Character becomes a part of everything we do. It's who we are. And McGee Heating and Air Conditioning's good character has been at the forefront of the service they've offered for generations now. Just like the character of our veterans who we are honoring this Memorial Day, McGee knows how important these qualities are. Dedication, honesty, and talent are a part of everything they do. Family owned and operated. Happy Memorial Day from everyone at McGee's Heating and Air Conditioning, Main Street, Aliquippa.
If you or someone you know is experiencing homelessness or a housing-related crisis in Beaver County, help is just a call away. The cornerstone of Beaver County provides a pathway home through emergency shelter, housing and utility assistance, and basic needs. To access help or to support the cornerstone of Beaver County's work to ensure housing and hope for everyone in our community, visit cornerstonebeaver.org or call 724-846-6400.
In the difficult period following the loss of a loved one, there should only be comfort and compassion in your life. Your time shouldn't be consumed with the multitude of funeral details. Instead, you should be focused on healing, mending, and putting the pieces of your own life back together. Let Alvarez Hahn Funeral Services and Cremation in Ambridge assist with all the details. For traditional funeral services, cremations, alternative services, and pre-arrangement options, call Alvarez Hahn, 547 8th Street, Ambridge, where it's always our family honoring your family.
I'm Patty.
And I'm Bob. We're retired, and we live at St. Barnabas in the Village.
We used to have a house.
Lived in it for 40 years.
Raised our kids.
But it became too much. The upkeep, the stairs.
Moving seemed like such a hassle. We didn't even know where to start, so we didn't.
Until we met Cindy at St. Barnabas.
She talked us through our options.
Yeah, and she helped us with our move and all the arrangements.
There was so much stuff. Who knew we had 3 fondue pots?
But she made it easy.
So easy.
Now we enjoy ourselves.
Golf, the pool, new friends, shuttles to where we want to go.
The pub and the food.
So good.
There wasn't a long-term commitment or any large fees.
And they have a healthcare system on campus with doctors if we need it. The kids really like that.
The kids like to come and eat with us.
There's an easier, worry-free way to retire at the Village at St. Barnabas. Come visit us for a free and informative counseling session and personal tour.
I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700.
It is 10:27 on your Friday morning in Beaver County. Steve Higgins is our guest. I'm Frank Sparks in for Mike Romai, and I'll be back on with Scott Tatey on Monday morning with the Beaver County Radio morning show. So make sure you tune into that. So I'm sure Scott's ready to have me back. He's been going solo all week. So Steve Higgins joining us here. We're talking, he's from the Larry Bruno Foundation, talking about the Larry Bruno Foundation. We've been talking specifically about the Beaver County Sports Hall of Fame, and they held their induction ceremony last weekend. And with that, you ready to bring our guest in?
Yeah, I mean, one of Beaver Falls' greatest athletes ever. One of our maybe Mount Rushmore type players in basketball, and when you talk about Beaver Falls, I mean, we're going back to, Oscar Jackson and Dwight Collins and Troy Nesmith. I mean, this guy's right up there with the greats. He's from a great sports family in Beaver Falls. He had such a big highlight last weekend, and we're kind of anxious to hear about it. And we want to welcome the great Lance Jeter.
Morning, Lance. How are you today?
Doing good. Thank y'all for having me.
Lance, I tell you, us in Beaver Falls are so proud of you for being inducted, everything you did. What was it like Saturday night whenever you got inducted and your mom and your family was there watching you? Share some of the feelings you had when they called your name and you stood up to the podium to accept your induction award.
It's an unreal moment, obviously. Like you said, you think about all our past athletes that came from Beaver Falls, obviously including my mother, and just unreal, like pretty much. Like I said, we just think about all the athletes we have, just to finally get the recognition when it was my turn, and just proud, just happy thankful, humble for the experience, especially because I got to join my mother, where it all started from the beginning, who put the basketball in my hands. So just a humble experience.
I noticed Baldwin was in the class with you, Jonathan Baldwin. You two shared a lot of highlights in high school. You made the Fab Five teams and a lot of all-star teams together. Did you guys talk about that championship game at all, ever, you and Jonathan, whenever you get together?
We usually try to stay away from that game. What he does, it brings back bad memories for him. But Jonathan's a very good friend of mine, so just to see him personally was just a good feeling. Obviously, Derek Moore, who also competed against in basketball. So just to be recognized with them in the class, obviously Coach Z, Jeff Dixon, all them, just people that you see, that you play against or that I see growing up. I mean, it was just an honor. It was just a great night, special night, and I'm just happy I chose the board.
You know, something that I noticed too, Lance, is, okay, you have Jonathan Baldwin in the class. You had Derek Moy in the class. They're both good receivers. You played receiver in high school. You played a little football yourself. Talk about your football days. I mean, do you miss playing receiver at all?
I don't miss playing receiver. I don't miss the pain, but constantly getting hit. No, but I mean, when I played football, I did what I was supposed to do. All state, Big 33. I mean, I hold my own in football. So.
Oh, you kidding me?
All the receivers, though. I did what I was supposed to do when I played football.
Well, Frank, I got to tell you something. Here's a basketball great. He played 2 seasons of football at Beaver Falls, and I told you I was a receiver. So I watched these guys like a blue jay watching a June bug, all right? And Lance Cheater, statistically, is right at the top. We have, I'm thinking all-time receptions, he's probably 3rd or 4th. Receiving receptions in single season, he's probably 3rd or 4th. He's right at the top of our statistics. And the way they've been throwing the ball in the last 10 years, I mean, these young guys are piling up the statistics. He's held on pretty good. He did really well. Those of you that don't know, Lance got a football scholarship to the University of Cincinnati out of high school, and he played a little college football. So it just gives you an idea of the athleticism that this kid has. But how about Brian Omograsso, Lance, in your class Saturday night? That's Terry Omograsso's son. He's a Beaver Falls grad. So Beaver Falls was pretty well represented Saturday night.
Very representative. Like I said, we not only obviously are football, but we got a lot of great athletes, and baseball was definitely represented Saturday night too. I mean, we have a very good baseball here in Beaver County. And it was just good. Like I said, that class altogether was just a special class. Guys that I played against and seen growing up, and guys that I watched closely and watched their careers. I mean, I'm just super honored to be part of that class.
So what did it mean to, you told us what it meant to, like, you and your mom to be together. What did it mean to her to have you inducted? And my other question I got for you is, who's a better shooter, you or her?
I mean, I know she was proud. I mean, like I said, she's the first person that put the ball in my hands. She was my first ever basketball coach, along with my uncle Carlos. So just to be my first coach ever, to be in the Beaver County Hall of Fame, it's like one of those dreams. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, for my line of work, she was the perfect mother for the job. You know what I mean? She taught me everything. Definitely in big time games when we play against those Iowa Clipper teams, she will leave sticky notes on the refrigerator, let me know what I need to do for that game. So it's just one of those unreal moments. Now, the shooting, I'm definitely a way better shooter than my mother. She was a power forward. So I'll take that one.
All right.
But how about rebounding?
Rebounding, she'll definitely got me in rebound.
She got you there.
She got me by a long shot.
So tell us, after Beaver Falls and everything that went on with the championships and things, you went on to Nebraska after that. What was it like playing big-time college basketball?
It was unreal. I mean, it was like one of the reasons why I chose Nebraska. At the time, we was in the Big 12, So he's going against the Kansases and the Texas Tech, the Baylors. So that's the only reason. That's the reason why I went there, because I wanted to play the big time basketball. And like I said, the first year was definitely challenging. Had to get used to that solid pace, but I think I held my own. I showed Beaver Falls pride and toughness, and I had a good senior year. All Big 12. So it was a good 2-year experience at Nebraska.
Hey, Lance, let's go back to Saturday night for a second. Make a comment and talk a little bit about the Beaver County Hall of Fame people, Janet Zigarelli and her crew. How was it like working with them? Did they treat you guys well through this process?
Oh, for sure. Janet was first class all the way. Called me every day pretty much to make sure I had everything in order. And like I said, they're just first class. They make sure everything was taken care of, making sure my family was taken care of. It was, like I said, it was just a first class event. It was everything was special. It was very nice. It's one of those moments I'll never forget.
That's true. Those, when we started the foundation in Beaver Falls and we were starting our museum, they could have been a little standoffish to us if they wanted to, here's another kid in town, another Hall of Fame group trying to make some waves. But they were so outgoing and so friendly. They contacted us, asked us if we needed anything to please let them know. Her and her husband came over and toured the museum and were very nice in their comments to us. And I just can't say enough about the Beaver County Hall of Fame group. I just think ever since 1976, when they've been in existence, they've been such an asset to this community, because we all know that in order to have a great community, you have to have certain components, and recreation is one of them. It has to add balance to great communities. You have to have government, you have to have education, you have to have recreation. And this Beaver County Hall of Fame group adds so much to this area. And I'm glad to hear that they treated you guys really great. I didn't expect anything different. I just wanted to hear you comment on them, because we respect them so much.
Yeah, they was first class for sure, all the way from the start to the end.
All right. And so what's it mean, like, for all the history of Beaver County sports, and, coming from Beaver Falls, what's it mean to you to be a graduate of Beaver Falls?
It means everything to me. Like I said, all my family is from Beaver Falls. Obviously, I have a lot of family all over Clipper, but just my inner family is definitely from Beaver Falls. And now that I'm here coaching with my brother Ramon at Beaver Falls, it's pretty much a sponge. Just everything I learned from my family and the community, just take it all in and pretty much to give it to the youth, give it to the next generation, the next athletes that's coming through Beaver Falls. And not just Beaver Falls, but Beaver County in general, but especially Beaver Falls. We have a very great group of young talent coming up, and everything I learned, I just want to give it to them so they can take it to the next level farther than I ever did. So that's my goal. That's my brother's goals right now, is to give everything I learned and just give it to the next generation, the next great athletes coming through Beaver Falls.
Glad you brought that up, Lance. The Tigers and Hoops have been a little quiet the last couple of years. Now, everyone knows we're one of the top programs in the entire state. I think when you count up total wins, we're a top 20 team in the entire state. Okay, that's how many wins Beaver Falls has. We're respected all the way from Pittsburgh to Philly. What's going on with the Tiger program? A lot of people are watching. They're wondering, the last couple of years, we've just haven't been where we want to be, and I'm curious to hear your comments on the future. What do you think things are gonna start turning around for the Tigers?
Oh, they turn around very soon. Like I said, it's been a couple of years. Like it's been a rebuilding year. We're very young. Last year we had no seniors on the team, so we're super young. Me and my brother, when my brother took the job, we knew that what was going to come with it. We got to take our licks, our whoopings, and we've been doing that. But our main focus is to make sure we keep the kids in the gym, keep them all year round, not just for obviously for basketball, but for all sports. But for us, mainly basketball. Like I said, we have the young kids coming up that are very good. We have a freshman coming in that should help us very much. Marco Harris, that's going to be very good for us. He has a good grade, bunch of kids that are very good. We also have a young kid, Rodney Slappy, that'll be going to 8th grade. Will be us for a couple of years. So we have a very good group of kids coming in, and our job is just to keep them focused, keep them in the gym, and then we'll turn around very soon. We're very confident in the group, and I feel like it'll be back to where it used to be in Beaver Falls.
Lance, who is our main opponents now in our conference? I mean, back in my day, it never changed. It was the same. It was Farrell, Sharon, Ambridge. Who's our main rivals now in our conference?
Well, our main rival is Aliquippa now. They're back in our conference.
Oh, they're back in. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have obviously we have Mohawk Mohawk has been good this past few years. Neshannock's been good, but our focus, we're New Brighton, Riverside, a few of those teams. But obviously, Aliquippa is the cream of the crop when it comes to our conference, and we're trying to get back to where it used to be, where that rival used to be talked about statewide.
I like the fact that WPIL, when they did their reorganization again this time, when they put the teams together, they put all these old school basically conferences back together again. So you do have the rivalries of the Beaver Falls, the New Brightons, the Aliquippas, and you have all those rivalries going on. So looking forward to the future of the Beaver Falls Tigers program. Is it a key to get down for you guys maybe and work on the lower level kids, your kids in middle school that are coming up? Is that kind of the key to success?
Oh, for sure. And that's what we're doing right now. Obviously, I have me and my brother have an organization, AAU program called Salute Hard Work, where we got our 5th grade, our 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, where we pretty much got them traveling all around the country, pretty much playing AAU basketball. So we're just trying to start there, like you said, get them while they're young, show them the fundamentals of the game, the passion, the Beaver Falls way, where you play with heart, play with passion, play with tough, and then keep it going year by year. And when it's time to get to the high school, we're not skipping a beat. We already know what to expect of them, and they know what to expect of us, and then we take it from there to get it back to where it used to be.
All right, we're visiting this morning with Lance Jeter as well as Steve Higgins from the Larry Bruno Foundation. We do have to take a short break, and if you do have any comments or questions or anything for Lance or for Steve, you're welcome to call at 724-774-1888 and 843-1888, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Looking for an elevated dining experience with a lively bar atmosphere? Then Jackson's Restaurant and Bar in Monaca is your destination. Join Jackson's for Thursday Night Live, featuring top-notch local music. Jackson serves modern American cuisine with a fresh flair, perfect for lunch, dinner, and now Sunday brunch from 2 to 6, with entrees like grilled salmon, grilled sirloin, and bacon-wrapped pork tenderloin. Located near the Beaver Valley Mall, adjacent to the Hilton Garden Inn, Jackson's event space is the perfect venue for weddings, bridal showers, or anniversaries. Visit jacksonsbeavercounty.com for details.
Spring is on its way out, but the deals are red hot, maybe even hotter than your Memorial Day barbecue at Moon Township Ford. Ford's From America, For America employee pricing program is just in time for your Memorial Day party. Be the buzz at your Memorial Day cookout with a brand new F-150 Bronco or Bronco Sport in your driveway. Ford salutes all those who have served by offering an additional $750 off your new vehicle. Combine that with the employee pricing and your savings are out of this world. We are also buying cars every day and are paying over the moon to fill our current used inventory needs. Call or come in and see us. Ford's America for America employee pricing program going on now at Moon Township Ford, University Boulevard. Come celebrate Memorial Day with Moon Township Ford.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Friends, how about a roofer that takes pride in exceeding your expectations? Barbara and James from Beaver Falls were highly satisfied with the great work that NASCO did on their roof and how quickly they did the job. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Barbara and James, and they can help you next. Locations in Pittsburgh and Youngstown, the pros at NASCO passionately roof the region. Most jobs can be done in a day. Get NASCO on your roof. Call 412-373-2000 or go to NASCOroofing.com. NASCO Roofing, NASCO.
Join everyone at Fry Transportation this Memorial Day, May 26th, as they honor the courage, sacrifice, and enduring legacy of the men and women who gave their lives in service to their country. The Fry Transportation family and their employees are proud to help sponsor this year's Memorial Day Parade in Beaver. Across all American battle monuments and memorials worldwide, Fry Transportation invites you to join them on this day of reflection and gratitude. Let us remember.
We have Art Cornell here from Beaver Cemetery and Mausoleum. Art, what makes the Beaver Cemetery different than many cemeteries?
Well, we're a non-profit cemetery, so all income generated is used to meet operational costs, to make improvements, and to provide perpetual care for centuries to come. Beaver Cemetery is non-sectarian and open to all who choose to take advantage of our historic beauty and tradition of caring.
Thanks, Art. Beaver Cemetery and Mausoleum, serving all of Beaver County since 1865. Located on Buffalo Street in Beaver.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series heads to Charlotte.
Allgaier down low. It's Gibbs to the high side. They stay door handle to door handle as they race off turn 4.
Chandler Smith will climb the hill. He'll go all the way to the outside wall in turn number 2. That opens the bottom lane.
Kyle Busch and Justin Allgaier trying to thread the needle through the field in their hurry.
It's the BetMGM 300, Saturday, May 24th at 4 p.m.
Yankee Trader, Saturday mornings from 10 to noon.
Freedom United Federal Credit Union proudly presents Yankee Trader.
Yankee Trader, buy, sell, or trade.
Yankee Trader is presented by Freedom United Federal Credit Union and in part by Rochester Paving and Seal Coating.
In a recent live broadcast, Dale Reckless from MRS Physical Therapy stated that if you are over 65 years old, the CDC recommends getting an annual fall risk screening.
Your vestibular system is similar where it starts to slow down at the age of 40 to 50 years old. Your balance systems start to change at the age of 40 to 50 years old, and they keep getting worse. So it's not just something you do once, but you should do it annually because your body continues to change year to year as you get older.
If you need physical therapy for any reason, choose the place that your friends and neighbors do. MRS Physical Therapy, located in Stone Point Landing in Bridgewater, or Cranberry Physical Therapy on Route 19 in Cranberry. For more information, call Dale Reckless today at 724-728-7550 or visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
Put freedom in your future. Freedom United Federal Credit Union in Rochester.
It is 1047 here in Beaver County. It is the live Mike. I'm Frank Sparks in for Mike Romai. Mike will be back Monday as we have the Beaver County, well, it'll be the Beaver Memorial Day Parade. Mike will be broadcasting live down in Beaver for that. So we'll have that for you Monday starting at 10 a.m. What a way to welcome Mike back from vacation, huh? Get out there and do a remote, Mike. But I'll be back with Scott Tatey starting Tuesday. I'll be back with Matt with Scott, and we'll be hanging out and having a good time. So, anyways, we got about 10 minutes or so left. Visiting with Lance Jeter this morning, as well as Steve Higgins from the Larry Bruno Foundation. We were talking to Lance a little bit about basketball and coaching now that he's coaching as well, and talking about his the team that those guys have with the AAU and moving forward. And Steve, you brought up a couple good questions to ask him during the break here about the basketball today and the young kids and the way
Lance,
it is.
We're real interested in this Beaver Falls basketball program, of course, because we're so proud of our program. But back in my day, and you mentioned the AAU team is like a support group for training some of the varsity players. When Coach Frank Chan got hired at Beaver Falls, we called it the Chan League, and it was a junior basketeers league. Lance, I'm not sure if it was still there when you were coming up. I don't think it was. But what it was a youth basketball league in the city where all the teams would coach the varsity offense. In other words, by the time I was in 6th and 7th grade as a basketball player in Beaver Falls, I knew the offense that the high school was running, and by the time we got into 10th grade, we knew the offense. So Coach Chan was that far ahead in his preparation. He didn't have to waste time teaching offensive philosophy. He would just go right into fundamentals and working on our game, and it really benefited Beaver Falls. Now, the system that you guys have today with this AAU, are you able to do things like that? Are you able to teach things that are going to benefit them when they arrive at your varsity practice?
Yeah, we also do the same thing with our varsity and our AAU. We pretty much do the same system that the young kids do that the varsity are doing. Like I said, most of our kids are majority of Beaver Falls resident kids, so we just try to keep that same system, same thing going as they did with Coach Grant. The same thing that Coach Biega did when he was coach at Beaver Falls. When I was coming up, we would run the same offense at the high school. And then by the time we got to the high school, it was already in motion what we wanted to do. And the next thing was just getting conditioned, getting in shape, because we already knew all the plays and stuff. So when the ball dropped, everything was rolling. So we pretty much do the same system now as y'all did with Coach Frank.
I'm glad you mentioned Coach Biega, Lance, because you know what? People overlook Coach Biega. You know, he had more wins at Beaver Falls than Frank Chan. I don't think people realize that. And he accomplished, I think he had more WPIAL titles than Coach Chan, too. What was it like playing for Doug Biega?
It was great. I mean, like I said, Coach Biega, along with my Uncle Carlos, Cicero Lasser, Carlos Cleckley, I mean, they push you. They push you to the limit. They challenge you in ways that you thought you couldn't be challenged as a teenager. I mean, it was tough, but we knew where it came from. We knew it came out of love, a lot of tough practices, a lot of early practices, and they really challenged you to be great. I mean, even when you feel like you're working, they brought something out of you to make you work that day. So, like I said, it really got you wanting to compete, wanting to win. Like I said, those 4 years was every year was a different challenge. Every year was different goals that we set for each other and for the team. So, I mean, it was great playing for him and playing not just him, but just all the coaches.
Now, in today's basketball, is to be successful and have a successful team, is it an all-year-round sport for these kids now?
I won't say it's all year round. I'll say, because, like you said, we're from Beaver Falls. I mean, we want our kids to play all the sports. We're athletes, so we encourage our kids to play football. We encourage our kids to play baseball, track, anything that's going to help them pretty much stay off the streets. You know what I mean? We want them to do it. Like I said, I don't think it has nothing to be all year round. I think if you got good groups, kids that stick together. A lot of nowadays kids, they're not staying where they're from. They're transferring. They're going to different schools. So if you're lucky to have a group of kids that stick together since they're little to high school, then those kids are going to be successful. And I think that's what we're trying to do right now.
Well, it sounds like you're on the right track. Geez, man, I tell you, we're just rooting for you so much with this basketball program. We know the talent's there. We know it's going to come back. We're happy with the coaching that you guys are providing.
And look at me when you say that. You know I'm from across the bridge. I'm sure Lance doesn't know that, but I'm from across the bridge.
I don't want to rub it in, but, oh, my God, our basketball program is so beloved. And it's just like we want them to do so well.
I agree. My mom's a Beaver Falls alumni, so.
Oh, is she? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like 1957, I think, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, so it's all good, but I still proudly live on Oak Hill. So.
Well, we didn't really kick our basketball program in. I mean, we made 3 appearances in the WPIAL finals before 1970, 35, 44, and 45. 1945. Then we went 26 years till 1970 before we even, made the playoffs. So most of our success has been from 1970 on to today. So, of course, Lance had a lot to do with that.
Absolutely. So what are you looking for out of your team this year coming up in the season? I know we're you just finished up last year and you're getting ready for next year, but summer leagues are coming along. You guys playing in the summer league or anything this year?
Yeah, we're in the summer league out in, I want to say the PVC Summer League, Stowe Rock. But just pretty much, obviously, like I said, we come from Beaver Falls. We have a lot of pride, you know what I mean? So not having the season that we're used to, it gets very tough, especially for us coaches when all the coaches are former players and they come from success. So it gets frustrating, but you just pretty much you can't show your frustration to these kids because a lot of kids are young. It's a new generation. So you pretty much got to pour to them and teach them what Beaver Falls pride is and what we come from, the tradition it comes from, and the people, the players that wear that jersey. So pretty much that's what we're trying to teach them, that pride of Beaver Falls. And that's what we're doing right now. Like I said, we're young. We still ain't going to have no senior this year, but a lot of experience that we had from last year, 2 years, a lot of freshmen had to play. So I think we're looking for a lot of players to step up. We're definitely going to be way more competitive, way more tough, physical, and it should be a better year than it was last year for sure.
Well, Lance, I tell you what, I want to thank you personally for taking the time to coach these boys. I mean, for a guy that has done what you have done in basketball, in that sport, to come back to your hometown and to give back to your high school is very commendable. I know the people in the community are so happy that you're involved in our program, you and your brother. We're rooting for you. We're supporting you. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time, for making yourself available. Anytime that the foundation asks you and your family for anything, you're always receptive and you always respond. And we really appreciate it. We appreciate what you do. And I hope you continue with this program because I think that the young athletes are going to benefit from your guidance. And I just think it's great that someone with your ability to play professional ball like you did in Division I to come back and share your knowledge. I just want to say thank you.
No, that's my calling for real. And all the stuff that I learned that I got from people I grew up watching and stuff, the community embraced me since I was young. It's my job to give back and get to the next generation so they can take it another step further than whatever I did. And I appreciate, like I said, Larry Bruno Foundation for always the support and love. Like I said, Beaver Falls through and through, and if anything I could do to help that benefit Beaver Falls, I'm always going to be there.
Well, Lance, we appreciate you joining us today and congratulate you on your induction into the Beaver County Sports Hall of Fame, and look forward to talking to you again.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Lance.
Bye-bye. All right, do you want to talk a little bit about your golf outing real quick before we we got a couple minutes.
Thank you, Frank.
That's next Friday, right?
It's Friday at Beaver Valley Country Club, and we're so excited. Things are shoring up pretty good.
That's a fun course, too.
We're the foursomes are coming in. We were a little worried for a while. It was a little slow, but the community's backing us as they always do. I mean, we're driven by donations. We're driven by the community. Every cent we make goes back to the community. And it looks like it's shoring up, Frank. It's going to be a heck of a day. Now, last year, the weather was impeccable. Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was beautiful. So I'm going to start watching the weather report. I hope it's a nice. It looks
good for next Friday right now. A little chilly, but it looks good.
Okay. Yeah. So we're excited. Things are falling into place. There's still time to get foursomes in. And, guys, it's such a good day, such a good group. The people that come out to support us is a nice mix of Beaver County people. And, guys, we're not all about Beaver Falls. We're based in Beaver Falls. A lot of our donations are from Beaver Falls, but we represent the county as a whole. And we want people to realize that we represent everyone. We want to represent the whole county because we think there's a niche there. We're proud to be a voice in sports for the Beaver County. So that's our goal. So even though we're Beaver Falls flavored right now and we're mostly Beaver Falls artifacts in our museum, we just got something from Babe Pirelli from Rochester that we're hoping will open up donations from the rest of the county and come to our place in Beaver Falls. So we're really excited. But Friday, come on up to Beaver Valley. It's a good day for fellowship, and oh boy, the Italian buffet they put on at the end is it's really, really delicious.
Awesome. All right, buddy. Well, phone number if they want to jump on here at this point.
412-298-1430. That's Ed DeRose, and he'll get you signed up at the last minute for the outing, and We have people from all over the county that are going to be there. Ambridge, Aliquippa, Monaca, from a lot of towns. So come on down.
All right. Steve will be back in 2 weeks in his normal spot with the normal host.
Thank you, Frank.
As long as he gets back, he's in Alaska. He might be a popsicle at this point. So, all right, coming up next, Matt Modani will be joining me in hour number 2 of Live Mike on your Friday. But we'll have town hall news followed by local news first.
If you or someone you know is experiencing homelessness-related crisis in Beaver County, help